year. Featuring the best bowlers from around the region. Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And now your hosts, Dick Lutz and Mike Morin.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. We've reached the top of the ladder. Our second ladder series comes to an end this afternoon. The winner of this match joins Jeff Surratt in the Tournament of Champions at the end of the year. Ultimately, we'll have 6 Tournament of Champions participants. We're looking for number 2 this afternoon.
And our top seed from this ladder was a Tournament of Champion bowler last spring, so he's got a little experience under the hot lights, Dave Hodge.
So let's meet our bowlers. Last week's winner, our number 2 seed from Methuen, Massachusetts, Dan Allard.
Big 156 games saved him last week over Steve Reno, average 125. High single 174, 455 his best triple, bowling at Linway Rec in Lynn, Mass.
Dan defeated Steve Reno last week 393 to 381. He rolled a 660 in the roll-off to earn the number 2 seed. He'll be meeting our top seed also from Methuen, Massachusetts. Let's welcome Dave Hodge.
A battle of the Merrimack Valley. 2 bowlers from Methuen, Massachusetts, average 128. His high single is 188. His best triple is 470. And Dave does most of his bowling at Academy Lanes in Bradford.
And Dave rolled a 667 in the roll-off to earn the top seed. The winner advances to the Tournament of Champions. Let's get right to it. It's Dan Allard and Dave Hodge when we come back to Leda Lanes for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS-TV. We began with 5, and now we're down to 2. We saw some great bowling along the way. The first week, we saw Bruno DeFeo defeat Rich Kochi. Then it was Steve Reno over Bruno DeFeo. Then Dan Allard defeats Steve Reno, and it sets up this afternoon's championship match with Dan Allard taking on Dave Hodge for a berth in the Tournament of Champions, and Dan Allard will be first to bowl here this afternoon at Leda Lanes. First match, Bruno DeFeo defeated Rich Kochi 418 to 337. Then it was Steve Reno defeating Bruno DeFeo 356 to 329. As Dan Allard starts out, then last week it was 393 for Dan Allard, 381 for Steve Reno. And the championship match this afternoon to determine the winner. Dan Allard would like to have that one back. After getting a break on his first ball, he was not able to take advantage. Missed opportunity there. We call it a squander, as they like to call it. That's like when you have runners on second and third and no outs and you come away with no runs. That's a squander. Let's see, what day is this airing, Michael?
This is first airing is November 14th.
So the Red Sox World Series parade has happened already, do you think?
Oh, beautiful
nice shot by Dan Allard for a spare.
So we're taping this on the 12th of October, the actual day that the playoffs begin with the Yankees. So we're just guessing that they won the World Series.
Dave Hodge, the number 1 seed from Methuen, 667 in the roll-off to earn the top spot, bowling out of Academy Lanes. Missed the spare. He's been on our show a half a dozen times in the past. Graduated from Suffolk University with a business degree. Dave is working at the front desk at the Marriott Long Wharf in Boston.
I will bet that is a fun job.
I wonder if he's got any great Democratic National Convention stories to tell.
You know, we'll have to ask him if we have any time at the end, which we probably will, because these guys are young and they bowl fast.
And he's got the spare the hard way.
All tied up after 2 boxes early on here in the championship match. $1,500 the top prize, $1,000 to the runner-up. Most importantly, though, top prize puts you in the Tournament of Champions.
Dave Hodge, 24 years old. Dan Allard, 30 years old. Who says Candlepin bowling is for old-timers? Some of these young bucks can really play the game.
It's for all ages, really. Beauty of this game.
Dan gave it a good run, but didn't make the spare. That'll be a 9 box. Dan works in telecom for Sullivan and McLaughlin, local 103 in Boston. He and Heidi have been married 4 years. They're expecting their first child. He told us last week it will be a boy. The little boy is expected in January. And Dan enjoys softball, golf, and working out. He looks to be fairly trim, doesn't he?
He's in good shape.
Oh, look at that for a shot. Wow. Watch this. Never expected he'd make that shot. He actually got it going by the first time. 2 marks and 4 boxes for Dan Allard. Here's Dave Hodge working on a mark. Put 7 in it.
Splash away at there, kid.
See you later.
Right there. 2 marks in a row for Dave Hodge. Watch it again. He played the spare perfectly right between the 2 pins. Is he more left to right than we saw him the last time?
Maybe a little
approach?
bit. I think he's got different bowling balls and seems to have a little bit more, just a little bit more spin or zip on it.
Just miss.
Did some extra bowling this past summer. He said to bring his game up to the next level. And it appears as though he's done just that.
.52 through 4. Dan Allard at 45 plus a ball through 4. So we're virtually even right now in the early going. That one got away from Dan. Put just 3 in the mark. Got a letter from Iguana Jack Rue, who served in the military from 42 until 82. Wow. A volunteer at the New Hampshire Veterans Home. He lives in Franklin, New Hampshire, and is a big fan of Candlepin bowling, and lived in the Webster area before World War II and did a lot of Candlepin bowling in a league down there and around central Massachusetts. He also gives us a pronunciation of Webster Lake, which we really didn't need again. We've had several different pronunciations of Webster Lake as you watch the shot, the replay once again. And the strike by Dan Allard.
Just got a piece of the head pin on the right side. The ball was going away and never really took much else out.
Jack Rue says he used to bowl in alleys near Holy Cross College. I can only think of Metro Bowl on the main, the Park Avenue side, which was down that neck of the woods. Bowled in Southbridge and several other lanes. So he and a buddy made in a bowling alley when he was in New Guinea, made of bamboo sticks with balls made of coconuts. Quite a story.
What they use for pins, that one.
Nice pitch up there. Hot.
That was a good Brooklyn hit for Dave Hodge, leaving just the 6 pin. And the wood will be of no consequence here. He's 5 pins behind Dan Allard through completed boxes.
That one got away from him.
Just right back.
Couple of 10 boxes. Dan Allard working on a strike. He has 3 marks in the first string. Dave Hodge has 2. Good first ball by Dan, leaving the 5 and the 9. Missed it. Put 9 in the strike. And give him a 10 box. We love to hear from you wherever you may be watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Jot a note and send it off to Candlepin Stars and Strikes, WNDS TV, 50 Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. You can email us at bowling@WNDS.com. We will have a slew of emails next month. Our email's been down. A lot of changes taking place at WNDS TV. You will see and hear over the weeks and months ahead. Keep your eyes and ears open. You're going to like what you see and hear.
Dave Hodge, a couple of months ago here at Leda Lanes, came in 5th in the first WCBC tournament of the 2004-2005 season. Number 5 position.
Ready when it goes, Dave.
And a nice note from Rita DeLomo of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. She, her sister, and her sister's husband all watch every week. Will it go? Don't give up on it yet. That ball's rolling into the pit. It knocked it down. We could see the ball rolling and going after it.
Don't have time to show you the... Oh, yes, we do.
Watch the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball. It's going to go back and back and take out that pin.
And you go again. Go get it again,
Well, he's got a similar lead here. See if he can do the same thing.
Watch out. Don't give up on it.
Game is going to be very close to even. Just a pin or two apart. A 1-pin lead for Dave Hodge. And our apologies. His name, I notice, is misspelled on the score sheet. It should be Hodge. Dave Hodge. Just noticed that. Sorry about that, David.
As long as it's spelled correctly on the check, that's what counts.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Eight box for Dan Allard. Relatively low-scoring first string thus far.
Other than last week, Dan's only appearance on the show was last year when he was beaten by Gary Carrington 430 to 364 on April 4th of 04. Of course, he was a winner last week.
The wood is set up pretty well here for Dan, I think.
I think you're right.
Didn't take out the 5-pin.
That was a good ball.
Don't know how it missed it. Went over it, I think. 10 box, 113.
And that's how he started last week with the 113 game, but then he came roaring back with the 156.
Here's Dave Hodge trying to take the lead.
Touch up there, Dave. Touch.
Here the bowlers talking to each other. We have a microphone up on the scoring table. You can catch little bits of conversation.
Oh, wow. Did everything but make it.
And we don't worry about the bowlers saying anything untoward. There'll be no wardrobe malfunctions on Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
106. Besides, we've got a month to edit the tape.
Well, that too.
Right on the head pin, a little too full.
Well, he needs 8 pins to win this match.
To win the string, at least.
Or the string, yeah.
Watch out, it's not over yet. There they go. Somehow you just never give up on these pins in Candlepin. 116 plus a ball. Watch it. There go the last two. The Leaning Towers. Bounce down, very thin hit, puts 6 in the mark. And a 122 first string for Dave Hodge, a 9-pin lead over Dan Allard. Headed to string number 2, we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Dave Hodge will bowl first in the second string. He has a 9-pin lead over Dan Allard after 122 to 113. Oh, look at that spare for Dave Hodge. Wow. 9 out of 10 people would have played it to try to cut the pin the other way. He cuts it off the wall and bangs it off the wall, and it goes down. Missed the head pin, but puts 8 in the mark.
And he's got so much stuff on that ball, I'll tell you what. He's going to get some of these great breaks. And believe me, that does make a difference.
There's a spare, 2 marks in a row for Dave Hodge to start out.
Dan Allard, who enjoys softball, golf, and just working out.
Starts with a half Worcester.
Becomes a dad with his wife, Heidi, this coming January, a couple of months away. So he'll end up okay after a half Worcester.
Right back.
Put a 9 box in it.
Winner over Steve Reno last week had a 393 triple.
Just a little thin.
Would like to have had a piece of wood somewhere in that mix. Was the bucket, or the diamond as it's called, is pretty tough on its own.
For just that reason. Looks like you make a perfect shot, but that pin in the back doesn't get touched. 2 9 boxes to start out for Dan Allard. Dave Hodge is looking for bonus money. We haven't given any away thus far this match.
Came in a little bit full on that. He seems to have his best success when he's hitting thin, and that's a 5 for his second frame spare fill.
Watch out, watch out.
Go get it.
If he made that spare, I think Dan Allard might have headed for the exit.
Ball faded, never came back. 4 down, 6 up to shoot.
He gets great action after the ball goes through. Things continue to happen. That'll be a 9 box. 52 through 4.
Giving Dave Allard a chance to climb back in now because he's up against a couple of open frames from Dave Hodge, our top seed.
He's lost a little bit of his accuracy, but it will come back. That'll be a 9 box, 3 9s to start the string for Dan Allard. Dan averages 125, a high single of 174, high triple 455.
Much better ball this time. Very makeable spare.
It's 5-8 with no wood. Nope. 10 box, and we're going to go to the break. Dave Hodge in the lead. We're going to break as we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Dave Hodge ready to go on lane 34 at Leda Lanes. He has the lead by 24 pins over Dan Allard. As we hit the halfway point, he starts off with a strike after the break. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin, our entire WNDS TV crew here at Leda Lanes. Oh, we threw a good ball. Kevin LaFon's our director. Keith Webb is our engineer. Kristen Doobie's on replay. Rich Burke's on audio. Craig Amabello, Larry Haber, and Suzanne Stonefield are our camera operators, making it possible for you to watch the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world each and every week on WNDS TV. Dave has to settle for a 10 box. Dan Allard has some work to do. Looking for his first mark of the second string. Missed the head pin.
Four pin is off spot. Now there's a piece of wood wedge between the 4 and the 7, which may or may not help him out here.
He makes the spare. I don't think it hurt him. Well done shot by Dan Allard.
Up against
Might
the
have helped
strike.
him a little bit.
May have. Chance to gain some ground back here as he is up against a Dave Hodge 10 box. But boy, that's going to be tough with a 5 fill. And then to pick that up with no felled wood on the plate, going to be tough.
2, 4, 5, 7, 10. Almost made the shot.
So he will actually lose a little ground here.
That will be a 9 box.
Bowler calls it a 9. Hit the wood in the gutter first. That is a dead ball. And it's up to the bowler to make that call, which he did. Still falling for Dave Hodge.
Nice 10 box.
Oh, very
Dave
nice.
Hodge.
An inside shot. That isn't easy to do.
Watch it again. He plays the 1 to the inside. The ball takes out the 7 pin.
I should point out that Dave's mother, Lillian, is here today. Was pretty sick last spring. Has made a really nice recovery. She looks great. Here cheering her son on today here at Leda Lanes.
Nice shot by Dave Hodge.
Lillian, good to have you here and feeling better. I'm sure her son's performance is making her feel really good right now. He's got the match pretty well in hand at this point.
Dan Allard needs to start marking, and he might as well start right now. He's got a 9-pin drop. The 3-pin is still standing with a piece of wood right next to it. Missed it. Got a little too fine trying to hit the wood. Takes the pin cleanly for the 10 box. Dan digging himself a hole right here.
Some missed opportunities, or squanders as you called them earlier. And some easily made spares today. Could have been another 30 pins.
Another 1-pin opportunity for Dan Allard.
Gotta wonder if he's getting spooked by these easy spare opportunities. I mean, your confidence will occasionally be shaken.
Missed it again. It's 2 in a row. Missed it to the other side. That'll be a 9 box. 80 through 8, and the lead mounts for Dave Hodge. A 30-pin lead plus a ball for
Which is
Dave Hodge.
not out of the ballpark, but Dave Allard is not helping himself at this point.
Well, Dave didn't throw a good ball there, but got pretty good action on it. Put 7 in the spare.
And
Piece of wood is rolling out of play.
consideration for both these bowlers. Whoever should win is seeding position in the Tournament of Champions.
There's a spare. First objective, of course, is to win the match. Second objective is to get a big score.
Yep. The only seed we have so far is Jeff Surratt at 400, which will probably be, if history, follows, somewhere around third or fourth in the seeding.
He threw that one past the head pin. Puts a 5 in the spare. Nicely thrown ball and almost made the spare. He is at 132. 133 second string for Dave Hodge. Two-string total of 255. Dan Allard needs a couple of marks badly right here. Threw it past the head pin. On the left side, Four Horsemen right side with the 8-pin in the back row. It's not going to take it down. 9 box.
Needs a mark for 100 here.
Again, he threw it past the head pin, but he got a great break.
Jeez.
Almost got a strike out of it. The 1 pin moved well off spot. It's frozen to the piece of wood that's next to it. Makes it easier, and he'll make the spare.
This could have been about a 140 game for him.
He had a couple of misses, didn't he?
Some spares.
Squanders, as we discussed earlier.
I'm sure as he watches this, it's very painful to see many of the easy spare opportunities.
Those single pin spares are not as easy as they look. He threw, again, not a great ball, but he puts 7 in the spare. Finishes with a 106. A 36-pin lead for Dave Hodge over Dan Allard, headed to string number 3. We continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNBS TV. Dan Allard will bowl first in string number 3, trailing Dave Hodge by 36 pins, 255 to 219. Strings of 122 and 133 for Hodge, 113 and 106 for Allard. And Allard off the head pin. He has not been on the head pin over the last half of the match thus far.
Oh my.
So he'll start with an open frame. An 8 box. He needs marks to be sure.
Dave Hodge is bowling about his average, 255 through 2 for a 128 average is about on par. Dan Allard, however, at 103 and 106 is well under his 125 average by about 30 pins through 2 games. And things don't seem to be getting any better so far here in the 3rd and final game. Pair of 8s for Dan Allard beginning the last game. This is the Tournament of Champions qualifier. Get you in here if you win today. Spread eagle. We saw Steve Reno pick this up a couple of weeks ago. It's a thing of beauty when it happens.
Michael, we have a lovely note here from Catherine Kit Simmons. It's S-Y-M-O-N-D-S. It's Simmons or Simons. I hope I pronounce it correctly. I'm not sure which is correct. Dear Dick and Mike, I'm 81 years young, because that's how I feel. She feels young. And I've been watching your show ever since Natick stopped televising. My purpose in writing is mainly to compliment you two gentlemen on your approach in broadcasting the bowling. Not even the highest paid announcers do it so well as you do. I'm truly not a garrulous person, but I did so want to express my appreciation of your talents and abilities in handling the broadcast. Thank you for many hours of entertainment. Sincerely, Kit Simons. Well, isn't that nice?
Thank you.
Isn't that
very
nice?
Sweet.
Thank you very much.
We enjoy watching as you do. We feel privileged that we get to be a part of it every week, up close and personal, and hope that we bring you a bit of a flavor in the background of the game.
Well, he tried to play the wood and didn't get anything. It's been that kind of an afternoon for Dan Allard. He'll settle for 9. A 393 last week in his win over Steve Reno. He would have difficulty approaching that number here. The 1 and the 3 with no wood.
Yeah, you need about a 175 to hit that.
A little too thin on the head pin. He's just not been able to buy a mark. He'll settle for a 10 bucks. Dave Hodge working on a spare. Just tries to increase his lead. He'll put 6 in the mark. The 1, the 2, the 7, and the 10 with a couple of pieces of wood laying on the deck. Things could start flying here, but he hit the head pin too full. And that'll be an 8 box. If he doesn't mark, he's going to have about a 40-pin lead with 6 boxes remaining. And he's got a tough shot here.
It's a nice payday for both these guys, no matter how they finish. $1,500 to the winner, $1,000 to the runner-up. Plus whatever bonus money he has accrued this week or the last couple, in the case of Mr. Allard.
And the new policy implemented this year about bowlers making one ladder series, they'll have to wait out a ladder series before trying again, so you see new faces next time around. So we go to the break, and it's a 42-pin lead for Dave Hodge. 6 boxes remain. Come back for the finish to Leda Lanes in Nashua as you watch Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Ready to go. It'll be Dan Allard bowling on lane 34 at Leda Lanes, and he trails Dave Hodge by 42 pins with 6 boxes remaining. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. And he needs to start right now. And he threw a great first ball. He's got the 10-pin standing, but his Achilles heel has been making single-pin spares, and he's got a piece of wood still sitting on the deck right there. Well, he's not going to make it. Single pin spares have really haunted, and that time he makes it.
So yet to mark is Dan Allard, and even Dave Hodge has only 1 mark at this game.
But Hodge has the big lead. That's the difference. Another spare opportunity for Dan. And this time he converts.
That'll bring a smile to his face. I can still do this, he says. Dave Hodge, as we mentioned, his mother Lillian is here. Also, he's got a new woman in his life, girlfriend Renee. Since we saw him last, he was single and unattached. He's still single, but currently occupied. College graduate of Suffolk University in Boston. Leaving just 5. 4 horsemen on the left and the 8-pin in the back. Oh, I guess there was no pin in the back. Guess I need new reading glasses. Well, it's the 5 and the 10, and, well, there's some wood. Making an interesting shot. He's up against a Dan Allard spare. Dan's first this game. Dave Hodge also has just 1 mark.
Got a note from Jim Haynes of North Billerica, who sends along a newspaper article written by Doug Hastings in the community newspapers about 94-year-old Sam Marcus and how important bowling is to Sam. And 82 average, a high single of 110, a triple of 285 for 94-year-old Sam Marcus. How about that? He didn't start bowling until he was 87.
Are you serious?
That's what it says right there.
And he's what, 94?
94.
Wow.
That's great. Nice story, and it's, let's see, the bowling alley is Woburn. Woburn Bowlerdrome. He finished the league with that average. Yeah, that's really something.
Well, it is a great activity for those who are up in the years. It's a game that still requires a great deal of skill, but the equipment, the balls aren't as heavy as 10 pins, making it a bit more manageable for those of us getting up there.
Well, Jim Haynes right that Sam's average is down to 74 this year, but he wins the 50-50 pool often.
Does he really? Dan's going to have to get around that piece of wood or use it, and very, very often the pin like that is not going to help you out at all. So Dan Hodge just needs Dave Hodge keep himself clean here on the way out. He'll be today's winner. At least it looks that way.
Good first ball that time, and the wood set up nicely for Dave to clean this up. He didn't go for the wood. He went straight on at it.
He used the wood now.
That's didn't take the pin with it.
Work anyway.
70 through 7. A low-scoring third string. The issue not in doubt. The final score is in doubt, and that's important to Dave Hodge. He threw it past the object pin, so he'll be open in the 8th frame. And that will be a 10 box. He is at 80. And Dave Hodge is going to be at the low end of the qualifiers for the Tournament of Champions, I dare say, unless he really finishes strongly.
And that is it. Mathematically, with that shot, Dan Allard is eliminated. Not that he had much of a chance. He could have had a 341. Dave Hodge right now at 335. So mathematically, he was still alive. But that's it. He is not any longer.
So we have 2 now in the Tournament of Champions, Jeff Surratt and Dave Hodge. 2 of the young guns of Candlepin bowling. Needs a mark for 100. Got the 5-pin standing. Finishes with a spare. Waves to the crowd. Acknowledges the applause.
Don't patronize me, he says.
A strike for 328. It will be a 6. It will be a 105 and a 3-string total of 324 for Dan Allard. We didn't give away any bonus money in this match. Paul Willett put 224 on the board instead of 324.
Yeah, as if Dan doesn't feel badly enough, right?
Dave Hodge is $7 as he plays out the string.
He may not hit 100 here.
He needs a mark for 100.
When's the last time somebody didn't hit 100 and still made it into the Tournament of Champions?
Won the match, yeah. There they go. Will that pin go? Yes, it goes. A strike.
You see all the body English on that?
It was a matter of pride to get to that 100 mark.
I think you're right about that.
Watch it again. Watch that 10 pin. It takes forever. It gets kicked, it rocks back and forth, and there it goes. On the head pin. We're looking for, oh, we got a shot at it. We've got a shot at $675 right now.
How
Who'd have
bizarre.
thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Watch it again. This one takes a while.
2-4 and the 7. Get
like an
plowed
accordion.
down. Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is a $675 shot for Dave Hodge. What a way to finish.
There it is.
One pin away from $675 for Dave Hodge. And he finishes with a 116. A three-string total of 371 and a berth in the Tournament of Champions. We'll come back to meet our bowlers when we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Dave Hodge defeats Dan Allard. The final score 371 to 324. Dan Allard is here to collect the runner-up prize of $1,000. 393 last week, 324 this week. What happens from week to week?
If I had the answer, I would have done better than 324, that's for sure.
We see it happen so often in this game of Candlepin bowling, how a guy will get a hot hand, run a hot string or a hot triple, and then the next week things aren't the same. And it's you try to make adjustments during the match, but it just isn't that easy.
I tried moving up a little bit. I couldn't hit anything. Even when I got spare leaves, I missed them, so I didn't deserve anything today.
Does it become a little bit of a mental block when you start missing a single pin spare, then you miss a second single pin spare, then those pins look smaller and smaller?
Yeah, they're looking like toothpicks up there. And, I mean, he was doing a good job. He was trying to keep me in it. He was carrying me for a little while, but, you know, he pulled away at the end. He did a good job.
You know, the funniest things happen when the cameras aren't rolling. And Dan walked up, and what'd you say about the money?
I said I felt like I'm stealing after that performance.
Well, for those that have never bowled on television, let's face it, most people watching never have. How is it different doing this under the lights in a longer period of time than bowling, say, a 10-string match?
The lights make all the difference. It's really hot. I don't think you can really appreciate it watching on TV. But after 3 strings, the first match with Steve Reno, I was tired. I was like, I need about an hour break. But, you know, you don't get much time. It's right back up there, and I just wasn't ready. I was terrible.
You'll come back again.
Absolutely.
You acquitted yourself well. We look forward to seeing you again. Dan Allard, congratulations to you. Thank you very much. Now the bonus ball contest. We gave away some cash a couple weeks ago. We've got $20 in the bonus ball jackpot. We'll have Dave Hodge step up to the line, and our contestant is Phoebe Brown of Manchester. And Dave, she wants you to knock down 5 pins. See if we can knock down 5 for Phoebe Brown of Manchester for $20 in the bonus ball jackpot. Hey! A 5 for $20 for Phoebe Brown of Manchester, New Hampshire. Come right here. I don't know.
That kind of a day.
After somewhat of a lackluster third string, you had that shot at $675 at the end. Did you know there was $675 in the jackpot?
I knew it was up. I didn't know how much it was, but I had nothing left. I figured just one last try at it. The pin was almost there. It was exciting. You know, it was very exciting.
It was an exciting finish for us to a match that was 371 to 324. Now, again, do you know in your mind as you're winning the match that your score is important for seeding in the Tournament of Champions?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was trying. I used it all for the first 2 strings to get myself so hyped up, and my hypeness was taking a lot of my energy out of the lane. So, but you know, I bared down the end and got the 2 double strike in the last box, and you know, every pin counts because I was there last year, and I went from first to last real fast. So I knew every pin counts.
That's right, Dave. You had I think 401 last year to qualify, and this year you're coming in with 371, so that will probably put you in fifth, maybe sixth place.
That's all right. It's more fun. You have to work my way up to the top, hopefully, and just see what happens from there.
Always
He's a young guy.
The glass is half full with Dave Hodge all the time. You told me that you bowled on a couple leagues this summer to kind of step your game up to the next level. How do you feel that your game has improved as a result?
I've been a lot more consistent. I'm not throwing big numbers anymore. I'm more consistent, you know, through 130s, 120 stuff, and just being a lot more accurate and pinning more. I mean, because pinning's crucial in bowling. I mean, if I didn't make a lot of, you know, 10 stuff, it makes it a closer match. And he missed a few marks. I mean, just a big difference. But being more pinning and getting more accurate is what it comes down to.
My observation, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you changed a little bit from the last time we saw you. Have you moved a little bit to the left or right?
I'm actually throwing more of a rotation on the ball and get a little bit more spins. Like I missed the hip in a few times and got some nice breaks. I mean, it's changing. That's all it changes. But I was
life
lucky.
is good.
Life is good.
Mom's doing good. You got a new girlfriend.
New girlfriend.
Got $1,500 in your pocket. Where are we going for dinner?
Going to Red Lobster. I just want to say hi to my sister who's home watching and my little buddy Tucker who watches me every week.
All right, Dave. Thanks very much. Congratulations.
We'll see
Dave
you in
Hodge,
April. Okay,
our
man.
winner. I didn't give him his check. I'll give it to him after. I'll give it to him off air.
We'll take it to Red Lobster.
I'll give it to him when we get done. So a great ladder series comes to a close.
Yeah, we've got 2 guys in, and we've got 4 more to go. It's Jeff Surratt at 401, and now Dave Hodge at 371, and we got a long way to go till we fill that ladder.
And 5 new bowlers for you next time as we start a new ladder series looking for number 3 in our Tournament of Champions. That'll do it for this week for our entire crew. And Mike Moore and I'm Dick Lutz. Thanks for watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. So long, everybody.